That's not even part of my vernacular.
Forgiveness, not permission, but that necklace is spectacular. Nearly fewer than 100 now remaining. We're going to now go to the X negative, what they call the negative space bangle bracelet. 462-685 at the moment. The options, rose or yellow or the platinum plated, $49.90. Beautiful, and there is going to be a matching ring coming up in a moment as well. Your flex pays across the board for this 3-hour extravaganza of Technibond, free shipping. So even if you've never shopped with us before, you do one flex pay on credit card, debit card, or even PayPal. I'm going to send you out these pieces. But if you think about what we've shown you so far in the few, 5 pieces, 6 pieces, regardless of even taking away the Byzantine necklace, you could have bought 4 or 5 pieces and you're still well under $100. Well under $100.
Here's your gold wardrobe. That's the thing.
That's it.
Here's your gold wardrobe. What are your choices? Spend, and I love gold, obviously. I mean, but I love complementing what I already have, what I didn't sell, what I'm still hoping to acquire with Technibond. I've been wearing it since the 90s. It is built to last. I was wearing it before I became a show host here. It's one of the things that I had a mad crush on HSN about before I even got here. And then we have come modern today, specialized formula that keeps getting better and better that no one else has. And then here's that formula of design, which is the, I call it positive vibe, negative space. Bangle bracelet, $49.90. And it's that layered look, but done in that XO kind of feel, totally on purpose. 142 are available. We have it for you in that platinum, precious Technibond, and the yellow gold, precious Technibond. And here's the ring.
So the rose, do we have the rose still available? 18 remaining in the rose.
Okay.
So I do have 18 remaining in the rose. Rose gold, if you're thinking gift ideas, they say it's the most appropriate to all skin tones, softens in colour. Now my signet's actually rose gold.
Oh, it's very pretty. Yeah, very pretty.
Do you do any etching? I'll get you a little etching on it. But the rose gold, really soft in tone, but you cannot make a bad decision. And with these types of prices and offers, it really is a chance where you go out, think outside the box. Maybe you've been one traditionally to wear the yellow golds or rose golds during the cooler times of the years. You move to the white tones when it's more summery. You know, and we do have some bi-coloured and tri-coloured options coming up later on. We can mix and match them, what I like to call the bridge design. You will not be surprised that these have been made, crafted, sculpted in Italy. Now, we spoke about this before, where now we have, you know, with the price of gold that's skyrocketed and so forth, we have these amazing gold artisans who have started working in these types of techniques. So you're still getting the look, you still get the feel, even that jewellery percussion, as I like to call the jewellery percussion on the wrist. Yes, you hear that?
Yeah.
A little bit of jewellery percussion.
Yeah, that's my instrument right there.
$49.90. And your flex pay, $12.48.
The ring is now down to the platinum only.